Welcome. Today I'm going to break down some basics of C++, and for that I'm going to use my yard to feet conversion program that I've shown you in a video a few days ago. First we'll start up at the first line. The two backslashes, these trigger a comment line, meaning anything to the right of it will be a comment. I have two comments here. First is programmer, where I display my name, and program, which displays the name of the program. You can enter it anywhere you want. You can add it as a note, you can add it as instructions for other programmers that may work on the program. This is a good way to remind yourself later on if you're working on something heavy. The next thing we see is sharp include IOStream. This includes some of the functions that you see throughout the program, including cout, cin, end line, system pause. Without include IOStream and without using namespace standard, you will not be able to use the cout, cins, and your program would basically be worthless. You just get a load of errors and it wouldn't run at all. As you can see here, I'm using a semicolon. This semicolon ends the line. Without the semicolon, you'd get errors, and it wouldn't know that the command actually ended. It would think you're saying using namespace standard void main in one go. So it's essential to close your lines before you get any errors. The next thing we see is void main. This is the start of your actual program, the things you can actually see. Some people use int main. I'm using void main here because it really doesn't make a difference as to what outcome I'll get at the end. This void main is just saying that the program will return a value, and most likely it won't be a 0. And the void main doesn't have a semicolon at the end because I'm not ending it. I'm beginning the void main with this open bracket and I'm ending it with this closed bracket here. You see this in my other program that shows you how to loop using the for function. I don't use a semicolon there, I use two brackets before the start of the program and where I want it to end and repeat. Next thing we see is the float. These are the variables. Last time I had int for integer. Integer allows you to have just not single digits, I'd say digits without decimal points. Integers doesn't see decimal points, and I used integer, so you would use whole numbers. So if you have 3.33 yards to convert into feet, it'll only see 3 yards. It will not see the 0.33. But with float, it will recognize the decimal places to a certain degree. It does end, and after that you can start using double, long double, and there are others as well. Other variables include ch, which is character. These are single digits, single characters. They can be numerous letters. And once again, you have to end it with a semicolon, and to separate variables, you use a comma. You don't use space. That'll just give you errors. Now you come down to the cout. The cout is the output that you see on the screen. This is just outputting what I'm saying here, such as please input the number of yards. These two arrows cascades it, and it's telling the program that whatever is in the right of it, up to the semicolon, is being outputted onto the screen. As you can see, I'm using double quotes here. Double quotes here tells you that these are actual words that you want to output onto the screen. Without the semicolon, it may think that these words here are actually commands, and it'll give you errors. The cin is the opposite of the cout, it's the input. I'm asking people to enter the number of yards, so I'm inputting, and the arrows here is telling you that whatever's to be entered here is going into the system for the calculation below. And this is the actual formula. If you were writing this on a piece of paper, you would probably write it out the same way: feet equals to yard times 3, and you end it with a semicolon here. And here again we see a cout. This is the output, and we cascade it, telling us that whatever is in the right of it will be displayed on the screen. The yard here isn't inside quotes because I want this yard to display whatever the input was. So if this was a 3, this will display a 3. If this was a 5, this will display a 5. I have to cascade it again. And between these two quotes here, I am showing these are the words that will be outputted. If I didn't have this, the system would get errors. If I didn't have the S here, it may display, if you put 3 here, it will display 3 here, 3, 3, and equal to probably give you an error. And I'm cascading it here again. And the feed here is the output, is the outcome of this formula. So if you input 3 here, 3 times 3 is 9. It'll get the value here 9, and this will automatically return here into feet. So it'll be 3 yards equal to 9 feet, cascading it again. An end line, it's something that you can use because of IOStream and the namespace standard. Without those two, you will not be able to use end line. This basically tells the program that whatever is to come after it should be put on a new line. You can actually put 2 end lines in one go. You have to cascade it if you want to make two spaces between this and whatever's to come. And finally, we have the system pause. This is at the end of the program where you see it say please enter any key to continue, and the program usually closes. If you didn't have this here, the program would close automatically. Unless you read at the speed of light, you would not be able to get the outcome of anything. It would just close as soon as the input came in. So this helps, and you're able to use this again because of include IOStream, include namespace, using namespace standard. There are other sharp includes such as OStream, IP, manip, and math-h. I don't know all of them by heart. They all serve with different functions. They all allow you to use different commands within the program. Such as my other program, I have include, sharp include, math-h, which allowed me to use the square root function. If I use square root here, it will just give me an error. But let's run this program as it is. As you see here, this says please input the number of yards. We see the output here, please input the number of yards, and that's what is displaying here. When I enter the 3 in here and I press enter, this is the input here, the C in yard. I enter, and that's the input. This program will automatically calculate, will actually input the yard here. It will multiply by 3 and display the feet. And the last C out we see here is we see 3 yards equal to 9 feet. That's the yard here. There's a 3 here. The 9 is what's calculated here and it's brought down here. And at the bottom we see please press any key to continue. It's on a new line because of the end line here, and it didn't automatically close because we had the system pause there. Let's see what would happen if I commented this out and I ran the program. Okay, let's say 5. See, it automatically closed. These are just some basics of C++. There are a lot more. I'm not an expert with C++, but this will help you figure out what I was doing with this program when I was writing it. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll try to post more programs later on. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Enjoy.